if you want thicker, more analog sounding, denser mixes, you should be using saturation. Now, if you don't know what saturation is, it is the kind of distortion you get out of pushing analog gear. Now, in the modern era of mixing, most of us are mixing in the box, in software. Now, we can get that sound using software simulation, and doing so is going to give us a lot of cool ways to enhance our mix. On top of what I said, it'll help, enhance your tracks in other ways, such as reducing harshness, adding more information to, whatever source you're adding saturation to. There's a lot you could do with saturation, so we're just going to jump into my mix over here. Apologies if there's any glitches. It's a pretty dense mix, and I got OBS running. But the first thing that I want to go over, this is more on the mastering side, but I want to go over how you can use saturation to just thicken up your entire mix simply by doing this in the mastering process. So we'll go over how this sounds with the saturation. I'll take it away, and then I'll kind of just dial it in for you. So right here, I'm only saturating kind of like the mids and above. If we take this off, you see how we kind of lose some excitement. Kind of lose a little bit of that mid-range focus. Bring it back in, we get that loudness and excitement. So let's actually just start from square one. And we'll turn the mix all the way up. And what I'm gonna do is push it until I hear a bit too much distortion for my liking. So we're kind of getting some distortion there. It's better to do it at like a chorus section. So that's too much. That sounds pretty good. So we're gonna bring the mix all the way down. Cool. So it sounds good. A little thicker, a little more focused on the mids. Subtle effect. But it's a really good thing to add on your mastering chain. It just thickens up your entire mix. And if you want, you can saturate the entire frequency spectrum. This is just the technique that I'd like to do. You could toss on a tape emulator. So that's saturating for mastering. Let's go in here and let's saturate some guitars. This is my guitar bus. We have some synthesizers on here too, but I want to focus on the guitars. Let's toss on a tape emulator. Dial up some drive, add oversampling. Let's turn it off. You see how much harshness comes back? We turn it on. That just really softened things up. So it's crazy what a little bit of tape saturation could do. I'll turn off this compression because we don't need that. And that was me twisting a few knobs on the default setting. Now I think it gets a little crazy during the palm mutes. Let me see here. Yeah, so maybe I'll dial this back a little bit. You can let it go in the red. Take this away. Yeah. Very cool to add saturation to your guitars if you want it less harsh and thicker. So that was guitars. Let's move on to... Let's go to strings. So what we have going on here, this is more of a subtle effect. See how it kind of rounds off the top end a little bit. This was just a little too harsh for me. And it does kind of help glue the whole section together. See how it's a little bit softer sounding. And then we take it off and it sounds kind of nice like that on its own, but in the context of the mix, that was just a bit too harsh for what I was going for. So saturation on violins, very huge, and especially for this part, because that gets a little crazy, that solo part, and that kind of helps round everything off. Take up saturation. It just stuck out a little too much. Okay, so you get the idea. Saturation is really cool on string sections. Let's do some vocals. Saturation is huge for like screaming vocals, so let's take a look at these vocals right here. We'll just do one vocal rather than the whole bus to make it easier. So that's aggressive. That's what we want for screams. Now there's a little compression going on here, but we got saturation going on. We'll take this off. See how it loses that aggression? And it's not as pinned. That's a cool thing about saturation. It can help pin your vocal, so it just cuts through the mix that much better. And really, it's a matter of just dialing in the amount of saturation you want. And you know, if you want to add compression because you're using a tape emulator, that's cool too. You can use this as much as you want or as little as you want, for as extreme of an effect as you want or as subtle as an effect as you want. So saturation is huge, definitely a game changer. If you've never used it before, definitely give it a try. If you got any questions, comments, please leave them below. Thank you so much for watching.